out there. My name is Keelan Siobhan Clark. I am the owner of Liberty Empowerment. I am an empowerment coach. And today we're going to talk about the importance of keeping your word. Pretty elementary stuff usually when we kind of think about it. But yesterday, my connection wasn't great. But what I was trying to get across was the importance of keeping our word. Hello out there. Thank you for your comments. I love seeing them, especially when we are live, but also when you guys watch these replays. So I was thinking about, what really creates hate and anger towards other types of people. Because we're seeing like flare-ups of that. And one thing that I know is one of the culprits here is that if we're not keeping our word, then basically we're going to not keep our word and we're going to kind of push it on another person. And what that can do is it can create so much friction that we even forget about ourselves. We forget that we're like this amazing like specimen walking around as an individual in the world. And what happens is we start to put our crap on other people, right? And what really starts that angry cycle is us not keeping our word. And there's only one person we can keep our word to. There's only one person we have to keep our word to, as I should say. I'll let you guys guess. Put it in the chat, whatever your guess is. And when we don't keep our word, things pile up. And we know, like, there's like this nagging feeling like, oh, I told Wiley I was going to walk him, and I didn't. You got it. Keeping our word to ourselves. The most important thing. If we can't keep our word to ourselves, then we're not going to keep it to anyone else, right? So when I'm like, okay, I'm going to go walk Wiley, that's about me and keeping my word to myself. Of course, Wiley cares. Of course, Darren cares, right? But I get to keep my word to myself. Now, if I don't keep my word to myself, it's going to affect Wiley. It's going to affect Darren. It's going to affect the other people in my life, even my clients, because let's say, I'm on a client call and I'm thinking about, oh, I didn't walk Wiley this morning. So then I can't be fully connected to them. That's taking energy. That's not good, right? So I'm bringing this up because I'm really thinking about where hatred and anger and shame and worry, like all those really low vibrations, where do they stem from? And a lot of times it stems from something so simple that we can actually clean it up very simply as well. Isn't that crazy? Like, we can actually clean it up really simply. So I'm going to give you the key to doing that. When we've broken a word to ourselves, broken an agreement to ourselves, and usually that ricochets out to other people, all we have to do is acknowledge it to ourselves first, and then you might need to acknowledge it to another person as well, and then let it go. Oh my God, let it go. Let it go. Don't should on yourself. Remember, like, the shoulding? Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Well, you didn't. He didn't. So I love saying, who cares? Like, you did not. But next time with this awareness, you can. Okay, I didn't walk Wiley this morning. What was more important? What got in the way? What was more important was me booking calls early in the morning. Okay, maybe that didn't work because I promised him I would take him. Cool. Next week, let's clean that up. I hope this is making sense. I'm going to go through it again. We get to keep our word to ourselves. And when we do that, it ricochets into the rest of our lives. And if we break our word, which we will, because we're freaking human and life happens and we're dynamic and not static creatures, then we get to acknowledge the broken agreement and let it the F go. Learn from it. But don't sit in the shame of it. Don't sit in the worry of it. Don't sit in the feeling of, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Because the only person you're ever really in trouble with is yourself. And maybe God. That's coming through to me right now because we all have our own relationships with the higher beings, right? But really, that's between us and us. So when we see hate and when we see anger and outlashing, that's usually a very, very good indication that somebody's in a lot of pain and they haven't been able to keep their word to themselves. I look at it with, I don't want to even say sympathy. Like I look at it really with curiosity, with how did this person get to this place? Why is this person lashing out in this way? And a lot of times it's as simple as they were brought up in a very shamed environment. They were brought up around a lot of fear, a lot of hatred, right? But even people who have had great childhoods, we still have those things because we're so freaking hard on ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. And this is why we also hire coaches for accountability. I'm just thinking about the Chicago Bulls in the 80s and 90s, right? Like I'm an 80s kid. I remember watching sports at that time. Not a huge sports person, but like you could not get away from that. I'm just remembering like those guys wouldn't have been as good as they were without coaches leading them through the way, without accountability, without each other as team. And after every game, they'd be like, all right, they debrief it and then they let it go. Okay, next game, let's go. Let's go next game. So like in an athlete's mind and a champion's mind, you go back, you watch the replay, you see what worked, what didn't work, and then you go to the next step. So if you're out there and you've got like shit on your plate, you get to clean it up and just say, you know what, okay, here it is. This is what I can do about it. This is what I can't do about it. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. Look at it with curiosity and then let it go and go forward. I promise you'll be able to breathe again. It'll open up so much space. And when your vibration is higher in the world, other people feel that. Other people feel that. So I think we're really hard on ourselves, and we don't have to be so hard on ourselves. And you could talk to another person about it, because I think a lot of times we also like hold it inside of us, like trying to work it out in our brains, and like that's not where the answer is. By the way, the brain's usually like kind of what got us there. It's in our heart and it's in our community. So if you're not leading with love today, if you find yourself kind of like pissy or bitchy or like, just look at where maybe you have a broken agreement with yourself or with another person again, but it usually starts with the self. And just take a look at it curiously and just feel into it. Like, okay, can I do anything about this right now? Yes, no. And if you don't think you can, call a friend, hit somebody up, call me. We'll work it out. Sometimes it takes another person to shine the light on it. That's like one of my personal gifts, is that like I can shine a light on the thing that maybe you're not seeing clearly. Sometimes it's a little scary, but for the most part, it's really enlightening and awesome. Like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. And then there's always another way to view it. So I hope this supports today. Go out there, clean your plate up, keep your word, and just spread some love today, because we really need it in the world. We don't have time for our shit. Let's just like let it go, flush it, wrap it up, and move on. So if this supported you guys, please, please, please heart and like it, and even share it if that is that's available. Tag someone that needs to hear this as well. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you again bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye for now.